YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad to have you with me. If you like my movie reviews, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also like this video if you really like it. I'm going to remind you again at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around so I remind you, because you just started, so you don't know if you like it or not. Well, we'll wait to the end and then I'll remind you to go ahead and click that like button. But yeah, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Now we're going to be talking about Lady Bird. Lady Bird is a movie directed by Greta Gerwig. She is typically a indie actress darling, and this is her first go at directing a movie. It stars Saoirse Ronan. I had to look up how to say her name because although I've been a fan of hers over the years for Atonement and for Brooklyn, I have never been able to say her name, and there's a lot of vowels and I don't know how they're supposed to sound. It doesn't sound the way I thought it was going to be. Her name is Saoirse Ronan. I really like that name, actually. So it stars Saoirse Ronan as a high school senior, and it is a very coming of age movie. Laurie Metcalf, who is very famous for being Jackie on the TV show Roseanne, she plays her mother. Laurie Metcalf is a fantastic actress. I love Laurie Metcalf so much. She was fantastic in Roseanne. She's also on the TV show Getting On HBO. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out. That is an excellent show. If you look at an autobiography of Greta Gerwig, it basically plays out the way Lady Bird plays out. This movie is about Greta Gerwig's life. All of the people in it have fictional names, but they pretty much represent all the people in Greta Gerwig's life. So Lady Bird, her name is actually Christine. Her given name is Christine, but she has chosen to take on the name Lady Bird, and it kind of feels like an attempt to cultivate an identity that is all hers. Instead of something that is given to her and things that are expected of her, she wants to build something for herself. So she uses the name Lady Bird. Nobody ever says where she got that from. When I first saw that this was going to be a movie coming out, I thought Lady Bird Johnson. She was the wife and first lady to Lyndon B. Johnson, but it has nothing to do with that. Yeah, so she decides to go on by the name Lady Bird, and it's just all the things that happen to a young person in their high school years. And that's one thing that I really liked about it, is that this movie sort of took me back to my high school senior days, and boys and emotions and having these big feelings, and then being very disappointed or hurt about prom and friendship, and that weird space in your life with how you relate with your parents. Yeah, and it's sort of that time where, when you're kids, you're a kid, you love your parents, they do everything for you, and then you get into this weird space where you live in their house, but you're still trying to be your own person. You're trying to learn how to be an adult, and it's kind of hard when you still have to play by these rules. You're still kind of under the thumb of this adult who has been the person dictating your life for every moment of your day up until that point. So I think that this was an excellent way to see that sort of that struggle and that little headbutting between a woman who is a girl who is becoming a woman and trying to come into her own, and her mother who thinks that she knows what's best for her at all times. I like Laurie Metcalf as the mom because, she's not a horrible mom. She's not the worst. She doesn't beat her kids. She doesn't verbally abuse them. She's not on crack. She's a good mom, but she's not mom of the year. So she doesn't make all of the right choices. She makes mistakes. And there are some things that she says to Lady Bird, aka Christine, that are kind of problematic. And you can see where she's coming from when she says certain things, that she's trying to be constructive. She's trying to have her be realistic. Like, hey, this is how the real world is. This is where your skill sets are. Maybe you shouldn't go this way because you're not good at certain things. She is coming from a place of her trying to help her the best way she can, but it comes off as being completely rude, hurtful, at times, mostly hurtful, and dismissive and diminishing of her daughter. And we always get this idea in our brains that a perfect parent is someone who encourages their children to do whatever they think is right. You can be whoever you want to be, and we are trained to teach our children that. But that's not Laurie Metcalf's character. She's a mom that is very deeply grounded in reality and wants her daughter to be there with her as well. And I think it really hit that teenage love thing. It was like, oh, love, it feels great and awesome in the moment, but damn, that shit is not what it appears to be mostly. And yeah, I feel like that doesn't really go away after high school. Like you start to be a little bit smarter about love after you've been hurt a couple times, but that shit's still hard. Even as an adult, it's still hard. So while there have been some things that I don't personally have experience in, there are other things that I do, and I really felt it. And it, like I said, it really brought me back to that time, the good and the bad, the joyful and the hurtful things that happened during my high school years. And I feel like I'm not the only person that felt that way watching this film. And I think it really shows Greta Gerwig's skill as a director and a storyteller. And she also wrote this because, of course, it's like based on her life. Really, to me, at the end of the day, you can be technically flawless when it comes to filmmaking, but if things don't resonate with people on an emotional level, it's like, well, what's the point? It's just this soulless, beautiful piece of art. So I think for Greta Gerwig to be able to hit something that resonates with people, I think is a great achievement, because that is very hard to do in this space of filmmaking, is to make people feel things. And she does this really well. So again, this is like the highly critically acclaimed movie of the year, and there's definitely going to be awards and things involved in this. So I expect them to be at the Golden Globes, expect them to be at the Oscars, and SAG and Producers Guild and everything in between, because this is a very well-made film. It was very good. Saoirse Ronan is exceptional as always, and this was a movie that I enjoyed quite a bit. So that is my review for Lady Bird. If you saw it and you have thoughts, please tell me about them in the comments. I love to talk about that. Also, please remember, I told you I was going to remind you, if you like this, hit the like button. Also subscribe to my channel so that you can get more of this. I have so many other things. There's Star Wars, there's Pitch Perfect 3, there's what else do I have? There's so much more coming. So subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified of all my videos. I am very thankful that you watched this, and I appreciate you very much. Thank you for sticking around, and I will see you on the next one.